Hey everyone, so this is part two of that response to Funeral Song 34 for the first episode of The Currency of Democracy. I was going to go into property tax and all that, but I'm going to skip it for a minute and continue with these comments. Okay, so Funeral Song 34, you go on to say, I think you're mixing governments, communism, police state, democracy, elected, dictators, tyrant, republic, elected, with how countries, societies works. Capitalism, fascism, socialism, libertarianism, these are two different things. I need to make a quick correction. A couple of them. Communism is not necessarily a police state. Actually, I'd say that communism is anarchy, as you know, some people understand communism to be a lot like socialism, when that's what China has, is socialism. It's not that it's different from socialism. It is socialism. Even though they have a Bill of Rights or a Constitution or something like that, it's not like us. It's the total opposite. It's two competing philosophies. But anyway, communism is meant to be anarchy. It's a lot, just like capitalism is part of anarchy. It's supposed to be a part of anarchy because it's about freedom. Communism actually is supposed to be about freedom as well. It's just, they specify that there's supposed to be no government, and people just get along without a currency, and no government is needed. So basically all they would do is barter, or they would just share in their property as a whole. I don't agree with it, but it's a form of anarchy, and it's not about a police state, which is what we have now, or at least Arizona's getting one pretty well. I could say Massachusetts is, becoming that, but not too bad. Again, I know some cops that are actually very decent, but anyway, that's besides the point. Dictators, again, or I've never spoke to this, but dictators not necessarily are tyrants. It's just that they're democratically elected. How about that? For example, Cuba. They've had some dictators there, and they were elected. And some have become tyrants, some have not. Most are, of course. The more power you have, the more tyrannical you are. Anyway, so and one other nitpick quickly is libertarianism is a philosophy. It's not a economy. It's not a state. It's a philosophy. Libertarianism is just a principle of morality. It has nothing to do with all of this stuff, though it incorporates its philosophy afterwards to the government and to the economy. So basically, libertarians believe in capitalism, and, well, not believe, but they know that capitalism is the right thing, and just by facts and reason. And they also know that while some would believe in a republic and some would believe in anarchy, but either way, all we want is freedom. That's all liberty really is. Anyway, so, and you say our Constitution does not contain the word capitalism. We could have been a totally socialist country, and it would not be against the Constitution. This is factually incorrect, because the Constitution derives its philosophy, its law, on property rights, and negative law as opposed to positive law, where if an injury is occurred, then the law takes effect, as opposed to having its effect, its it's law enacted, and if someone commits a crime or whatever by speeding, then they've committed a crime when there was no actual injury occurring or no stealing occurring. So that's the difference. Liberty would be that, if you don't injure anybody, do what you want. If I can speed up to 120 miles an hour without a problem. Who would know if a tree fell in the forest? Did it actually fall? If I speed and nobody was around to see it, did I actually speed? That's why people get away with speeding, get away with it. It's a false law. It's incorrect. It's wrong. So that's the whole point of the Constitution. It's to inhibit the government from doing this. Socialism would positively steal from somebody and give it to somebody else, and that's unconstitutional. So that's why it's wrong and immoral and unconstitutional, is because it is in effect a steal. Anyway, most countries have a mixture of these societies' ideologies. That's true, but that doesn't mean we have to be that way. We can be the beacon of light that we once were. Anyway, the reason why I say that the country cannot be socialist is because states can do all the crap that it wants. 10th Amendment. Anyway, how much time do we have? 6:43. Okay. So, I'll continue. I like the ideal of libertarianism, but it requires too much trust that the people will do the right thing and live within society's rules without having someone to enforce them, like the government. Well, that's what a minarchy can be for. If you really want society to have its rules enacted, then you can do it at the local level or the state level. But in general, the federal level, it can't do it. The federal level, that was created as a, what do I call it? A silver lining, kind of. It's supposed to just do trade with foreign countries. It's basically supposed to be, the president is supposed to be an ambassador, basically, for the United States. And he's not to create and pass law on his own. The Congress is. Everything's wrong. And so if you do not trust your fellow man right across the hall, or across the street from you, then why do you go to work every day? This is ridiculous. How do you live? Why do you live in fear? That's not a way to live. Learn to make friends with people. That's why we were the most peaceful and egalitarian country in the world at one point, and now we're not, because we don't trust anybody. That goes for conservatives and liberals. Neither trust anybody. Anyway, and like you said, simply put, it would be like me asking you to take all your assets and convert it into cash and put it on a table in a large room with 100 random people and have you leave the room for 5 minutes. Do you think your money would still be there? Why would you ask me to do that? That's the first question. Why would you ask me to do that if you wouldn't do it yourself? I wouldn't do that. No. Who would do that? What you should be doing, though, is wondering why you leave your house every day to go to work. That's the way I see it. Anyway, and then you said good videos. I got through all 6, and that was episode 1. Just one suggestion: stick with one topic for an hour until you're more seasoned. Well, I've been doing this for a year now. Hopefully, it's been getting better. That's totally subjective. Hopefully, you like it. But what I want to do is keep people interested and change topics. And what I've been doing in the beginning of the shows now is trying to do like 4 news topics or 4 articles and try to talk about those and then get into a major subject and try to do one or two for the rest of the show. So hopefully you like it. And so thanks for listening, and have a good day.